A guide for women. Accept that you are good enough. Your self-worth is innate, not conditional. From a young age, many women are taught that their value is tied to external achievements, appearances, or relationships. Society often whispers that you must check certain boxes to be good enough. Be pretty, but not vain. Be successful, but not intimidating. Be nurturing, but not overly self-sacrificing. These messages form an invisible cage, one that leads to self-doubt, comparison, and the relentless pursuit of perfection. I want you to accept that you are good enough as you are, that you don't have to work harder to be loved, and that you don't have to reach a certain salary to call yourself a success. Your self-worth is not conditional, it's innate. That might be a bitter pill to swallow, especially because you were raised and conditioned to believe that your worth is entirely dependent on what you contribute. It's always been contingent on your achievements or what you can do for others. Unfortunately, that capitalistic view of humanity has warped your sense of self-worth. It's made you think that the only way to have self-worth or to have value is to earn it. Unless you earn it, you are not worthy. This is false, and it's a trap. It's worth differentiating between self-worth and self-esteem because they aren't interchangeable. Self-worth is the internal sense of being inherently valuable, regardless of your circumstances. Unlike self-esteem, which is often tied to achievements or the opinions of others, self-worth is unconditional. It exists because you exist. Self-esteem says, I am good because I achieved this. Self-worth says, I am good because I am. Self-worth is your inherent value. It is immeasurable, it is unconditional and unchangeable. You exist, therefore you are worthy. You exist, therefore you belong. You exist, therefore you are deserving of love, affection, and care. Conversely, self-esteem is your evaluation and perception of self. It's related to the things you love about yourself or would like to leave behind. It's changeable because you are always changing. Usually, your self-esteem is reflective of your values and how well you adhere to them. At the core of positive mental health is self-worth, which influences your decisions, your behaviors, your ability to set boundaries, and evaluate relationships. It's the seed of self-acceptance, one that you have to plant and water to grow. It's necessary to balance this with a growth mindset. Let's talk about 4 steps to cultivate self-worth. Self-forgiveness. A lot of women struggle with feelings of unworthiness, and that's often because we hold guilt, shame, and anger over past mistakes. The only way to forgive is to accept what happened because it's the only way to release blame and move forward. Self-acceptance. Many women struggle with their self-worth because we struggle with self-acceptance. There's got to be something wrong with us because of X, Y, and Z. Usually, the reason for that is external influences, whether it's societal or closer to home. Focus on all the things you love, like, and appreciate about yourself. You can teach yourself to embrace those quirks, flaws, and things previously deemed as weaknesses. You are always worthy. Self-support. Life gets tough, and when it does, we abandon ourselves. We grow more critical of ourselves, and we forget basic needs, and that only contributes to the spiral. What you really need is for someone to see you and recognize the hurt you're experiencing. You can't always expect that from others, which means you need to learn to self-support. When you run into emotional pain, acknowledge your feelings and provide comfort. Connections. One of the struggles women face with low self-worth is isolation. It can be terribly lonely, and when you believe there's something wrong with you, it's easy to lie to yourself that nobody wants you around. So, surround yourself with supportive people and stay connected. It isn't always easy. You will run into setbacks, but constant reminders that you are good enough and cultivating your self-worth should carry you through the difficult times.